The Indianapolis Colts have signed star nose tackle Grover Stewart to a 3-year extension, and this guy could not be any happier. Hello, everyone. It's Zach Hicks from the Locked On Colts podcast, and this is a celebratory day, guys. We are excited. Grover Stewart is back on a 3-year, $39 million extension. Look, guys, I got a little nervous there. He hit the open market for a good 4 hours. I wasn't sure, if some other team was going to swoop in and give him a bigger deal, but ultimately, General Manager Chris Ballard did get the job done and bring back this just fantastic player. Look, Grover Stewart is one of the best overall players on the Colts roster. Fantastic run defender. And, we saw in those games that he missed last year due to suspension, the impact that he had in the run game. When he was out with that suspension, the Colts defense nearly gave up 5 yards per carry in each game, or on average in each game. And that was one of the worst run defenses in all of football. In the games that he did play, the Colts were allowing like 3.7 yards per carry on the ground, which was one of the best marks in all of football. So the on-off splits are really telling here. Grover Stewart was a massive player for the team. And I think this is a good deal. Look, I know there's some concern with him making $13 million a year going into his age 33 season by the end of this contract. But nose tackles we have seen age fairly gracefully. Run defense is something that sticks with these guys for years. And Grover Stewart, I don't think is going to lose any of that explosiveness, that power that we've seen him have throughout his entire career. So I think this is going to be a really good deal for the duration of the contract. Grover Stewart stays in Indy, fantastic player. Have him alongside DeForest Buckner for, at least next season, hopefully for more years after that. They re-signed DeForest Buckner as well. And yeah, the Colts are locking up their defense. My co-host Jake Arthur talked about Zaire Franklin's contract extension earlier. So basically 3 of the Colts' best run defenders, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, and Zaire Franklin, are all still coming back next year. And then another player they locked up today, too, is a defensive end, Tyquan Lewis. Tyquan Lewis was inked to a 2-year deal, according to sources. So very, very big deal right there. Tyquan Lewis was a Chris Ballard second-round pick in 2018. Has not really had the career that was expected of him when he was drafted as high as he was, but he's been able to turn it around and really churn out a good, solid career for himself. He's going into, what is this, going to be year 7 for him, and he's coming off of 2 major leg injuries, 3 years ago, respectively. And he played all 17 games last year, had 4 sacks, had nearly 40 pressures, which was 3rd on the team. Very, very solid player. And look, if you want your team to be pass rushing in waves and rush teams in waves of pass rushers and have a really good rotation up front, a guy like Tyquan Lewis is at the upper tier of pass rush waves. A really, really good backup player to have, a really good rotational pass rusher. And he proved it last year, being able to rush inside and out. So love the Tyquan Lewis deal, 2 years coming back. And look, he's a huge guy in the locker room as well. Young players love him. There was a really fantastic article. I can't remember who wrote it. I think it was one of the Indy Star guys about Tyquan Lewis being a mentor for Nick Cross going into last season. A really odd pairing there, but we just see the impact that Tyquan Lewis has in that locker room, and getting him back for 2 years is a very invaluable piece of this defense. So Tyquan Lewis, Grover Stewart, the Colts are bringing back 2 hometown favorites. We couldn't be more excited here on the Locked On Colts podcast. But if you guys want to listen to us break down these deals in more detail and really get excited about these players coming back, make sure you tune into the Locked On Colts podcast Monday through Friday, where we just talk about all your favorite things in Colts news. Remember, Locked On Colts podcast, your team every day.